Hi everyone, my name is Connie and I am the graphic designer at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum. Yay, so I'm all excited. Today we are on lesson 5 for our Saturday adult crafts here at the museum. So lesson 5 is going to be a painting or a collage, whatever you want to do, on the month you were born on. So what I did was I did my little sketches that I encourage you guys to do. So hopefully by now you've thought about what you're going to do and you've gathered all the elements that you're going to use for your painting or your collage. And like I said a while ago, I'm going to go ahead and do mine as a collage painting. So I've gathered some copies. I want to use the state of Texas on my board. And then here's the Navy ship that I'm going to cut out and put on the bottom. So, but what I think I'm going to do first is go ahead and get my board and then get all my paper elements and cut them out and then get them ready to collage on the board. And I'm going to go through step by step on how I'm going to do it. Okay? Alright, so now I'm just getting my copies and I'm going to go ahead and tear out the part of the state of Texas I want to use. So there's that. So here's my board. So I look at my sketch and see more or less where I want to put that on there. So I'm going to go ahead and decoupage my state on there. Alright, so now I'm going to get the good old mosh podge out, and again I'm going to use one of my bigger brushes, and I like to dampen it just a little bit, soften up the bristles. So I'm going to dab a little bit of mosh podge onto my board. Let's see. I'm going to place it where I want it, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the little bit of mosh podge on the top. That way it tacks it down and holds my paper in place. Remember, you don't need that much of your mosh podge. You just want enough to let it stick on your board. So seems like I'm working kind of fast, but I'm so used to this by now. Once you get used to using mosh podge, it's real easy and comfortable to work with. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark my board in 3 sections. So since my board is 12 inches, I'm going to mark it in 4 inches for each section. Then I'm going to make a real nice light line. So I know where my sections are at. See how I put my lines? So now I'm going to go ahead and focus on this part here, doing it some red, because of the month I was born in is Valentine's Day. And then I actually got some hearts. I made a little template of a heart that I will put randomly on my board on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting a red color. And I added a little bit of pink just to add a little bit of contrast color. I'm going right up to that line and going to make it nice and straight. Now I'm starting on my blue for the middle section. So the blue part for me is that climate there in Galveston where I was born in February. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and put my hearts on the side of the board that represents February. So I'm going to go ahead and trace those. I love using templates, it helps. But for those of you that are courageous and want to freehand things, go right ahead. This is your painting, collage, or whatever you're doing. It's yours. So I put some red on my palette and changing to another brush. So I'm going to do a little bit more detail. So I'm just going to paint these hearts red. And as I'm painting, I'm thinking I want to add a little bit of a texture to my hearts. So I finished painting my hearts. And what I want to do now is I have this stencil that I'm going to create a texture inside my heart. So again, I have my favorite brush that I use for stenciling. It's kind of real coarse. I'm going to dab it in some white paint, maybe with a little bit of pink. And I'm just going to go into the heart. Isn't that cool? So maybe I can do the next one like this. So here's the shape of my heart. I'm just going to put the stencil again on top of it. And I'm going to dab, 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 dab. Oh, this is so much fun. Let me see if I'm going to go over onto to my state map there. Okay, so see right there, I kind of put my stencil on there and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not liking that. So I'm going to get a paintbrush with a little bit of water and I'm just going to rub it off. Since the paint's still wet, you can get a paintbrush with just water in it and wipe it off. See? So now I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of shadowing around my heart. And I have some of this blue that's already on my tray, so I'm just going to use it instead of using black. Just put a little bit on my brush and then dab it off with a little bit of water and then go around slowly and pulling out that color. It kind of does like a bleeding effect and it gives you a real nice little shadow. Just get it and kind of fade it out. So I'm going to do that on all of them. I'm glad I picked the blue. I like the way that's working. Dampen your brush with a little bit of water and then just pick up a little bit of that pigment and just let it fade out. And have fun. I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of them. So I'm really happy the way that my hearts turned out. And now I think I'm ready to put my little ship down here at the bottom, which I am going to mosh podge. So I'm going to mosh podge, and I've kind of laid my ship out where I want it, and I'll just add a little bit of mosh podge on the board and then hold it at the same time so it doesn't move. Just a little dab. Like I said, you don't need much. You're just using your mosh podge to just place it down. So I finished mosh podging my ship. And now I want to go ahead and use another stencil, and I think I'm going to put it here. To me, this kind of looks like trees or grass, and that's what I'm trying to illustrate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'll just place it there and use my brush, and I think I'm going to use some whites and yellows. And then just dab, just to show a little bit of contrast. Stenciling's always fun. See? So I added the texture here on the green. Then I decided to go ahead and paint over this because I'm going to put February right in here. So I want the word February to stick out. And then on the ship, I think I'm going to go ahead and do my little shadowing with black like I've done before. So see, just as you're going along, you're going to just see what you've created and change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to be working on my cupcake. And I'm going to go ahead and paint that. All right, so I finished my cupcake. It's kind of a symbol that it's my month that I was born on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put February right here. So what I've done is I've actually made my own font on a piece of paper, and then what I've done is I use this carbon paper and I lay it down on my board, and then I put my paper on top, and then I trace it, and then it comes through on the board. You probably can't see it that well, but anyways, it's just a whole lot easier for me to do. That way I don't have to erase and then make more messes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I added my seagulls. Just wanted to do like some little silhouettes. And I think I'm done. I'm just going to let it sit for a while and look at it. In the meantime, I'll clean up the back and put my hanger. But I think I'm liking it. So I hope you guys are having fun creating yours as well. And just a little note, so you'll remember, the Farm and Ranch is open. So you guys should go on by and visit us at the Farm and Ranch Museum. All right, well, I think I'm done. I cleaned up the back, put my bracket. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my varnish. Just dab a little bit on my brush and then just lightly apply it to the board. So I hope you all will have as much fun as I'm having. Just have to think about things that symbolize the month you were born in. Write them down on your little sketch that you come up with your ideas and then go back and look, because like me, I missed the one part with the seagulls, and I think that was just my finishing touch. So, all right. So I'm done. I love the finished piece. Once you put the varnish on, it just completes it all. So once again, thank you for being a part of Lesson 5 with our Precious Moments series at the Farm and Ranch Museum. Again, my name is Connie Anaya. I'm the graphic designer at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum. Have a great day.